Hi, good evening. This is Kenny Tan. Welcome to the lBiz Academy's April 2021 Real Estate Market Update, the Northern California edition. It's a very exciting evening tonight because I got four special guests waiting to share valuable information to all of you regarding the current real estate situation in the Bay Area. Tonight, we're live streaming. We're doing multi-streams to several different channels, starting with the lBiz Academy, the couple of Chinese real estate channel, YouTube channels, and my personal Facebook channel, and the Chinese Landlord Association group for the Northern America in the USA. And of course, we're on Twitch tonight. Now, if you're able to join us tonight, please join us in the chat room. I think it'll be wonderful to have you with us. Okay, now I got everybody on board right now. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my guest for the evening, but let's see who is in town. Well, earlier we have Justin checking in, we got Carrie, we got Delana, we got Hua Lu, and then we got Alec Tan, and now we got TM, and who else we got? We got Brandon Tran, and of course, Nick Cheng. Thank you. You're all very welcome tonight. And we do have some background noise, and I don't know where that's coming from. So let's not let the background noise bother us. But if you are a guest, if you mute yourself, then I know where the noise is coming from, right? So when it's time for you to speak, you can unmute yourself. Otherwise, I keep hearing this background noise and I have no idea where it's coming from. All right. Hopefully, as the evening progresses, the noise is going to go away as it usually happens. So don't worry about the noise at the moment. Okay. Now, my first guest is a very experienced real estate agent in the Bay Area, and she's been with Santa Mac Realty for the past close to 5 years. A very, very successful, a very, very uh, good real estate agent in the Bay Area. Well, Lily, why don't you say a few words to the audience and also give us a gist of what you're going to tell us tonight?
Hi. My name is Lily. I'm a realtor in Bay Area, and today I'm just gonna share what's happening on the market as of today and what changes do we see this month.
All right, thank you so much, Lily. My
Mhm.
second guest is also from the Bay Area, and her name is Jhoanna Cruz, an excellent agent as well. And I will let Joanna say a few words about herself and to tell us the gist of what she's going to say tonight. You need to unmute yourself. I think you're muted.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. I think, can you
Okay,
hear?
great. All
Okay.
right, go ahead. All right, go
Sorry
ahead. We
about
can hear you
that.
now.
So, good
Yeah.
evening, everybody. My name is Joanna, and I'm a real estate agent in the Bay Area as well, working along with Lily, Kathleen. So, tonight I'll be talking about the market in Costa County.
All
Look
right, thank
forward
you so
to
much,
discussing.
Joanna. And my third guest for the evening is Kathleen Xiang, an excellent real estate agent in the Tri Valley area. Kathleen, why don't you say a few words about yourself and give us a summary of what you're going to say tonight?
Okay, thank you, Kenny, for having me here. Hi everyone. This is Kathleen with Santa Mac Realty. I specialize in Tri Valley and also surrounding Bay Area. Today, I'm gonna share some interesting numbers compared between Dublin in Tri Valley and Fremont in East Bay. So to see the market updates, yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Kathleen. My fourth guest tonight is Judie Xue. Judie is out of Sacramento. A very good agent in the Sacramento area, pretty famous agent among the Chinese investors in the Sacramento area. Judy, why don't you say a few words about yourself and give us a summary of what you're going to tell us tonight?
Hi, Kenny. Very nice to meet you all here. My name is Judie. I'm a center macro agent, Sacramento brand. Tonight I'm going to do a brief market update, so all our audience can be shared with the newest real estate information in Sacramento area. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Judy. Oh, Tanya, welcome. Good evening to you as well. All right, let's start with Lily. Two of us is we're gonna just switch screen and chat a little bit. Well, now we got the full screen to you with me at the bottom talking to you. Now, I'm excited to hear what you're gonna say and tell us tonight. But before you get into tonight's content, how about you and I talk about your recent success in the Bay Area? How many transactions have you completed this year, and how many are impending right now?
From top of my head, I think I closed 10 and one listing coming up and two or three pending. Two pending.
Oh, all right. It's only April. She closed 10 already, so it's looking pretty good for her. Three pending and one listing coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you want to go to the slide, or you want to chat with the audience face to face a little bit first?
Well, we can go to slides, so I have some reference. Yeah.
Okay, good. Let's go to the slide. All right.
Hmm.
Oh, what is it?
Yes. This is a this is basically a clear depiction how the listing agent feels toward, I mean, like, and buyer's agent feels right now on the market, right?
Yeah.
So if you do have a listing, you basically feel amazing because people just come in and overbid your listing, multiple offers, and you do whatever, right? But when
Yeah.
you but when I represent buyer's agent, I mean, like, buyers as an agent, it's really, really hard actually. So right now, as you can see, like, comparables right now on the market, they don't mean not like anything right now basically. So when I go and I estimate the value of the property, we overbid on it. Sometimes we put 200 on top of the listed price and we still lose, right? So of course we're going to go non-contingent, and I do everything possible for buyers to win, but it's impossible, right? But yes, it's possible, but I will let you know, you have to move really fast, and you have to be really, like, fast moving and making decisions fast. So recently, which is amazing, recently in Union City, I got my clients in the contract within 4 hours of the property being on the market. So 4 hours it was on the market. We went, we saw it, we submitted preemptive, very strong preemptive, non-contingent. In
Oh,
4 hours,
wow.
I've been in a contract, and it's like my lender, he actually called this listing agent about 9 p.m. We've been like communicating at 9 p.m. with the sellers and past that, and we signed like around 9-10 p.m., which is, this is the only ways potentially you can get. You need to get your list, I mean, like, offers accepted. You need to move really fast, right, if you like the property. Basically, yes, it's funny, but it's kind of, like, I'm on
Hello,
a both.
May. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome. Well, say hello to May, Lily.
Hi, May. Hi, May. Yeah, I
All
see.
right, we got Feng Jiao here, who
Hi.
is out of Palo Alto. Anyway, let's
Uh-huh.
continue. I'm looking at that darling on the left-hand side. I would love to be that darling. I don't want to be the person on the right-hand side. Oh my God, this look like it's all hairy. It sounds like the hair is all standing up. Oh my God.
So, but you know what? Of course, there is a downside a little bit on the listing side too, because people submit right now. Like, I have listing which I got accepted offer way above asking, right? And right now, like, we all think, what about appraisal? What about appraisal? Yes, I do have comparables, but still, like, some appraisers, they not up to date what's happening on the market right now, what is pending, what conditions, and I think some appraisers, they don't make it up correct, right? Because you need to see what's pending around at the moment, and like, they see the past numbers from like 6 months ago, and which is not correct at today's market.
Okay, now I was just curious that you said that the property in Union City was on the market, and then 4 hours later you're in contract with the seller. In other words, uh, it must have been a very persuasive offer. You know, I think in this market, some seller might say, well, let me wait a couple of days to see if I can get the best price for my property. How did you make your offer look like the best price that the seller is gonna get? Why did the seller not wait for more offers to come in?
Well, first of all, we had the non-contingent, right? So we took all the terms out basically, and then the price was way over, like over listing price, of course. So in comparable, yeah, I explained to my clients there is might be like a little difference in price, which it would not appraise, and they say it's okay, it's okay. So because I know an average this house can go for up to much higher than we submitted, right? So and how I how I
Hello, good
persuade.
evening, Kevin. Bay Area just got crazy. Yeah, it's actually crazier than Southern California. I would say that.
Yes, yes. So the way I persuaded this property, right? The basically my clients, they are my friends as well, and so they were almost to sign the lease in for a new I mean like for a new home to move in, just to rent the house. And I just called the agent and I said, hey, listen, this is my friends, and they almost signing a lease. We're gonna give you like this much, you know, like for this home, and we're going to come non-contingent, but we need to sign it tonight. What can you do? And so he said, do we have enough money? So I just, you know, like asked my lender to call him like at 9 p.m. They've been communicating, and my lender, he was like at the holiday party for his grandma, right? And he said like, I can't talk right now. I said like, can you call him like in 10 minutes? So like he called about like 9:10 in the evening, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
to talk to the listing agent saying, yes, these are the strong buyers. Yes, they're going to cover the difference if it's going to come short in appraisal. Yes, they're ready to move in right now, right? So yeah, and we signed it. So I think the agent was nice too, and he just felt our situation as well.
Okay, now
Yeah.
did you have a prior relationship with the listing agent? Was this a total stranger to you,
Uh,
or
no, you know, like Kenny, that's another thing. Is like not really no relationship to the agent, but you know, some agents who are not local to neighborhoods, right? They have listings and they don't know what's coming or what potentially can come next. And you know, like, and I'm all over the Bay Area, and I
hello,
know on
Mariella, welcome.
Hi, Mariella. Yeah, so I know on average, like what home can get in price at this moment, right? So basically, I do know my competition in majority of neighborhoods and areas. So if this is another thing, if the agent is not local, if he does not study the market around it, right? You need to study it. And I think like a lot of agents from our company too, if they have a listing, they study a lot of, you know, but if it's a listing who, I mean like the agent who have like multiple like 50 listings or like 60 listings, he doesn't have a precise knowledge of the neighborhood where he gets it, right? So it's like if you have couple listings a year, right, like or something, you know, you do your studies, right, about this listing or the home which you potentially writing offer for.
Yeah, obviously. Okay,
Mhm.
so you want to go
Yeah.
to the next slide?
Yes.
All right, next slide. What does it show?
Yes. So that was my previous listing, and it was in Fremont. So it's in my neighborhood. Okay, and this listing we priced at 1.35. As you know, Fremont started to gain like a lot of momentum right here, like these past couple months. The prices are outrageous right now in Fremont, right? So this house we listed at 1.35, and the neighbors in the neighborhood, they say like, oh, you're listing it too low. I said like, well, probably not low, and I knew it's maybe a little bit, but I knew people will bid on it, right? So but the
Mm-hmm.
price which I got, it's actually much higher than I expected. So but well, it took me a lot of time to prepare the house as well, staging, painting. I mean, like we suggested the owners to do a lot of work on the house, new roof, basically a lot of work done on this house. So, and we got, so as soon as it got in the market, I started having calls, like people called me like at 12, almost 12, like at night. So,
12 at night. You still
yeah,
have your
yes.
phone ringing 12 at night. What do you do with your phone? You should be in silent mode or turn off.
Well, I did actually pick up, and somebody called me and they said like, "Oh, this house, you just put it on the
Okay,
market."
so
And
now I know when to call you.
yeah, and it's like 11:30 p.m. and I said like, I picked up the phone and it's like, it's like 11:30. Can I call you in the morning? And they said like, yes. And I just
Yeah,
called them and
Mariella
uh,
said this is a great house. Now, from the outside, looks like a single-story house. Is it a single story?
it's a single story house, and that picture actually, the twilight picture was taken by Maria from our company. So
Yes.
she did, yeah, she did a great job. Yeah, so basically, yeah, this house I sold, like I wanted to keep it on the market for 2 weeks, but then I changed my mind, and I think it got painting in less than 3 days. I got an offer. Yes, and it's crazy, like I had agent across the street, and she's a top
Mm-hmm.
agent in Fremont as well, and she had a listing as well, and she called me and she says like, listen, you have a listing, and I wanted to submit from my buyers for this house, and I said like, what price? And she says 1.4, and I said, what price your house got? And she says, my house got 1.6, and I said like, well, how my house will get 1.4? Like, and it's like, we saw not, my client is not going to accept 1.4, of course. So yes, I got pending in like for 3 days, I think. I don't remember already. Yeah, but we went really fast because the demand was so high, and like there was no purpose to keep it longer because people who wanted to submit and wanted this house, they submitted right away, right?
So, what pricing strategy did you use for this house? Did you use a pricing strategy that's gonna give you a bidding war, or did you what did you do?
Well, the pricing strategy, I didn't. Okay, that's a thing to think about, right? Like right now, everything would pants or closed. Actually, at the time when I put it on the market, there was only a couple listings which sold for record-setting price in neighborhood, right? But everything was what was painting. It was really high. Like the two-story one went at 1.77, another two-story 1.77. So basically, I knew everything what was pending, right? And to not to scare the buyers, of course, I'm not gonna put it at 1.6 or 5, right? So I need
Mm-hmm.
them to realize this is what's happening on the market. And so basically, I didn't price it too high and I didn't price it too low because I knew there is on average like 10 or maybe like 5 strong offers will come.
Okay, got it.
Mm.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so yeah, we can go to next slide.
Okay, next
And I
slide.
actually, yeah, and I actually have another listing coming up in Fremont, in Irvington High area. So it's a very nice house as well. So, but I'm gonna share it later. Yeah, so a little bit about San Jose market right now. What's happening in San Jose? Like, if you look at the numbers, right, we would see what inventory changes we see, right? Like inventory grows slowly, but it grows, like more and more listings show up, but there is still a lot of buyers on the market, right? The market is not cooling off. It's not, and like, so the buyers are hunting for single families, and they go moving really fast. As you see, like on average, homes started to sell even faster than the last month.
Median days on
Okay, we
market. So 8
eight.
days versus 12, right?
Yes, yes. And I mean, it's just estimation, but I'm pretty sure some homes, yeah, they go within a week. You know, like some cases, most of my clients whom I win the offers are like winning offers, I submit at the same day. As soon as house hits the market, I submit really fast, and I try to negotiate with agent and trying like to do everything for them to accept it at the same day. Otherwise, I know we probably don't have a chance to have it, you know, to win it.
Now, this data that you shared with us is for all the homes or just single family residents?
Only single family residences. Yeah, I don't show condos since I'm mostly just made my slides for single family residences. Condos, yes, some areas you can negotiate, some areas you still, you know, like condos still sell as well, and people bid on them as well. It's just not as high as on single families.
You know, in San Jose, overall, how's the school district over there? Do they have really good school district in some areas and average or so-so or below average school district in other areas?
Some areas are nice, like we have a Blossom Hill,
Look
which
who
people,
is in town.
Jin Valley. Hi, 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 Jin.
Jin. Yeah, who will be talking to us in a couple of weeks about the San Diego market. But I'm just curious because I did have a buyer that was looking for single family resident, but their budget it's only around 800,000. Which part of San Jose still has a SFR that can sell for 800K?
Well, on the 800, it's impossible, but you can probably try to target East San Jose and maybe some parts of South San Jose, but 800 is very low. On average, I would say lower priced homes would be at 900s, and then you have to aim 1 million above.
Yeah, I felt
Yeah.
bad about. They did have a few listings once in a while that show up on the market about 800,000. But for those properties, you would expect them to go really fast as well.
Yes.
Single family
Yes.
residence actually sells a lot faster than condos.
Yeah. Everyone tries to get a backyard. Everyone tries to move out of the city. So it's a big thing. It's in a big move in community, right? So
Yeah.
people from work from home, and you know, like I actually had the one client, not a client, but he's a friend, and he just shared he moved from city to suburbia, and he said, wow, it's so nice here. I'm just riding my bike, and it's like on vacation. So you know, like, so for people moving to suburbia from city with kids, it's a big thing.
Okay, I see one other thing on your stat that's interesting. Now it says percent distress is 0%. That tells me that if you're looking for a property under foreclosure, currently there's probably zero to none. I mean, it's basically zero in San
Yeah.
Jose. So no deals, no deals. It's just uh, properties that are sold not in a distressed situation. All right.
You know, yeah, we can go to next slide. I mean, like deals is very complicated to get, and they probably don't exist. And if they exist, there's going to be a bunch of professional hunters for them, right? So you
Yeah.
don't stand a chance to fight these people. I mean, like honestly, it would be cash offers. They would come way above comparables. I mean, like I've seen crazy stuff. So it's really hard to get a deal. Um, Okay, so in San Jose, what happens right now, you would see that the home prices are rising a lot. I mean, like big time. And
Big
you know,
time.
like, yes, for schools, since you asked me like what schools, so you know, like I started to recommend people to move into Blossom Hill since there is a good high school which I like, and you know, like a lot of people like this Blossom Hill neighborhood. It's safe for safe community for kids and so on. The prices grew there immensely, right? So next area which I like is Almaden. It has nice schools, nice neighborhoods, lots of green, but right now it's like insane. You know, like usually I would say in Almaden you can get a house for 1.5 or like for nicer house. Right now I see everything what they list it's like 1.6 or higher, right? So it's very low inventory and the prices are really high. So I would say, I don't know if it's gonna keep going. We're not gonna see this price drops at all, because on amount of people who write and on amount of homes which are listed, we're not even like there.
Well, at least in the inventory is actually improving. If you look at, I mean, it's not worsening, but it is flattening, so it's not as scary as what
Yeah.
you might imagine. Hopefully, that might keep the prices not shooting up so fast. You see, right now you're looking at the median listing price, but that's just the listing price, though. The listing price tells you what the sellers are thinking. It doesn't really tell you what the ultimate sale price is, though. This is just the
Well,
median listing price.
I'll show another graph about actually sale prices, so you would see the difference.
All right,
Yeah. Okay,
next
so
one. Okay,
we can
I
go to
don't.
next slide.
This
So
is
this is a,
Saratoga.
yeah, just to show a little bit what happens on a higher end, right? At the beginning, like as we looked at the market when COVID hit, so the properties which are at higher end, they were not demanded so much, right? Luxury homes. And then in a month or so after COVID hit, so people started to buy the luxury homes, right? They started to move really fast as well. And so you see, like 1 month ago, they wrote, I mean, like the value of them have been like much higher than now. So right now, because you see on the graph that inventory becomes like more. And I see like more and more homes appearing on Saratoga as well. So people have more choices. Of course, they're not going to raise the prices as much as before. So
Yeah.
yeah, on a higher end homes, we still have demand and we still have buyers on them too. So we move on to next slide if we
Okay,
can.
move on to the next slide and see what the next slide shows.
Yeah, so you see on a Saratoga listing price, it goes a little bit, I mean, like down, because, and
Yeah.
you will see graph inventory is rising as well, right?
Yes.
So it just like shows, like there is still sales on a high end price. I mean, like homes. It's just different, different from. I think like people still can afford like up to, like on average, right? Since we have a mortgage changes to 822 of the conventional, right? So basically on average 1.2, 1.4, this is like the comfortable price, 1.5 for majority of the buyers, right? And then above it, it's a little bit higher price range, but the homes are still selling and they're not sitting on the market.
Well, the
So we
median
can move.
listing price is it's actually going down a little bit in Saratoga.
Yes, because we see like, oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention. Like recently I showed a house in Los Gatos in Saratoga, and it was like priced at what 2.2 with great schools. And then I think I estimated it can go to 2.5 or 2.7, but then like I had painting homes in Fremont at 2 mil, right? Like recently in our neighborhood, somebody put a home across the street from my neighborhood. They put it on the market like at 1.8, and this is not the very best neighborhood of Fremont, right? So we I don't know, like I'm seeing these differences in prices. I mean, like in prices in Saratoga and Fremont in price wise catching up like some areas of Saratoga, which doesn't make sense. Like Fremont never was so high in prices as now, which
Mm.
is crazy. But Fremont is a very good city for commute. It has a lot of good infrastructure in here, like good for families, right? We have lots of parks and so on. And I think people who realize commute, like they understand that Fremont is a location to be, like I mean, like commute wise.
Pretty central, I would say.
Yes, Fremont, Union City, Newark, all three. Okay, and the next slide,
There's no more next slide. I think oh yeah, there is next slide. Santa
yeah, yeah,
Clara County. All right, tell us about this one.
And see, that's what we talked about, listing price and the price at what they closing at, right? In January, you can see it was like 104%, right? It's like 4% above asking in Santa Clara. This is actually single family homes in Santa Clara County. So in February, everything was closing at 6% above listing price, right? And in March, it was 9% above listing price. So it's on single family homes. And if you look in Alameda, next slide will show Alameda.
All right, let's look at Alameda.
And this is what
Alameda.
Yeah, Alameda, well, I don't see what's at the bottom, but you see the difference. In January, I don't see the number on my
Yeah.
screen. But in February, we had like 11%, and March, we have like 14% above listing price. So this is a big growth in all cities.
Well, things are going crazy in Hayward, I heard.
Yes.
Okay.
Hayward,
That's
Hayward.
why, yeah, that's why the sale price versus listing price for Alameda is about close to 113, 114% versus Santa Clara, which is a smaller number.
Yeah, yes. And
Um,
Hayward is yeah, Hayward, San Lorenzo, Leandro, they're growing because on average you could get a home at 800K, but maybe not anymore. But some areas you still can. I mean, if you are an investor, 800K, you can probably get 3,000 for the rental from this home, right? It still makes sense, better than buying 1.5 house, 1 mil. I mean, like a house at 1 mil, and then renting it out at 3,000.
all right, thank you so much for the wonderful presentation, Lily. We'll have you back when we do our conclusion. Stand
Yes.
by. Now let's talk to Jhoanna. Hello, Jhoanna, it's your turn. Unmute yourself so we can hear
Hi,
you.
I am.
All
Hi, how are
right.
you?
What do you want to do first? You want to chat with the audience face to face first, or you want to go to your slide right away?
I think we're gonna do the slides, kind of give an overview of Contra Costa County, and then if there's any questions um, with the market update, I'll probably discuss that as well, or kind of elaborate more in details.
All right, you guys in the chat room has been a little bit quiet. Okay, now if you have any questions, feel free to share with us. All right, now let's see who has a comment. Oh, that's Mariella. Okay, of course, she did a wonderful job. Let's all thank her. Now let's go to the slide and let Jhoanna take us through the presentation. Okay, the first slide just telling you that she's going to talk about Contra Costa, and then tell us what the second slide shows.
Okay, so this slide shows, kind of give you an overview of Contra Costa County. Currently, the median listing home price is 735,000, and the median, per square footage about 756. But as you can see, most of the houses are being sold above asking. So this data is actually for all, includes townhouse, condos, and single family homes. Next
Well,
slide, please.
what does
Oh,
this
sorry.
number, what do these numbers mean to a buyer who wants to buy in Contra Costa?
This one's kind of give them an idea for buyers in terms of the market listing price. Just kind of, as you know, Contra Costa County, they were previously as uh, the more affordable area to buy for first time home buyers. And
Got
in
it.
this case, that is not the case. You before they say, oh, if you live in San Francisco or the peninsula, you buy a house in Contra Costa, then
Mm-hmm.
you'll have a better rate, a big, for more space for your money. Nowadays, because of this crazy market, we don't see that. And it will show you in terms of a year ago or a few years ago, median housings, they were just 600,000, 500,000. Now it's above, 800,000 just when they get sold for a single family house.
Okay, all right, let's look at the next slide. Now, what does it show?
Um, I'm sorry.
The next slide.
Yes, so this slide kind of give you more of the data in terms of the current uh, media, the list price and also the sold price in the area, as I mentioned earlier. Looking back, I'm just looking at my notes right now. In March of last year, the average home was actually 625 listing price, and homes were just sold, a few percent. It was sold at price of 629. But if you look at it right now, median homes are 735 and being sold above asking, which is about 100.6 percent. You're looking at about 6% above the listing price. So there's some growth in there. And as you know, Contra Costa County is kind of like a farm area back in the days. Um, I didn't get a chance to show you the map, but a lot of the new housing in Contra Costa, especially in Oakley area, um, they have at least 10 new builders. They have like this builder's lane for new homes. And most
Mm-hmm.
homes in that area also are above, five, starting price is about 550 for these homes. Next slide, please.
Okay. All right.
So typical days on the market for Contra Costa is about 36 days. Last year, it was about 41 days in the market. So it's not much difference, but it's shorter than it used to be.
Shorter. Okay, what does this all mean to a buyer who wants to buy in Pittsburgh, for example, or Oakley?
Pittsburgh Oakley, it's about the same time. This is just shows you in terms of how many days it closes from the escrow. Um, this this market update.
Okay, it's not so bad. It's median days on the
Yes,
market is 36 days. It's not like, okay, 10 or 15 days.
yes. So this is compared to 41 days. It's not much, but once we go to once I start talking about each city in Contra Costa, then you'll see like there's a big difference in terms of how many days in the market um, each houses are being sold now.
Okay, all right. Okay, there's a lot of
Next slide.
numbers here. You got to quickly tell me something significant.
Oh yes, yeah. So this one is just an overview of all of the cities in Contra Costa County. It kind of tells you the median listing price for each county and how many homes are actually in the market right now, um, and also what is for rent. So it just kind of tells you just a brief overview of. For as a buyer, I wanted to know how much are the listing price for each of these cities.
All right, good. So let's go on to the next slide. Okay,
Um,
this is about
yes, I'm
Oakley.
gonna. Yes, I'm talking about first thing is Oakley because I had a listing in Oakley, and it was actually was very surprised because when I was talking to my client a year ago, we were only thinking about listing. They were happy if they get sold at 675, but then we got lucky because one of the homes across or a block away was sold for 720. So that was a big jump. So it was really a good time. The timing was on my client's side. So this one shows that all homes in Oakley, they are about last year homes were listed for about 541 and they were kind of like sold at 495, like below asking. But compared now, um, homes are being listed 635. Sorry, let me see. Yes, they were listed above above compared to what they have before. And most of the homes are actually um, last year they were in the market for about it's 53 days like before they sold. Now it's only 37 days, so
Okay,
it
what does it
shortened
mean to
up.
me, a buyer who wants to buy in Oakley? Uh, what are my chances of getting a home? in Oakley?
Um, so as a listing, what for my listing, I had about 17 buyers who actually went to see the property within one weekend. I was pretty much booked for that week, for that first week that it was showed. um, it's it's catching up with the rest of the Bay Area counties just because it's still affordable. You can still buy a house under $800,000 in Contra Costa County, Oakley area. They have a pretty good. Um, some parts of them have a good school district, especially Brentwood area. So a lot of the families with small children are moving in this area.
Okay, all right, let's look at the next slide and see what it says.
Oh, this one is just those the days on the market. We can go to the next slide.
All right, okay, that's finally I see a nice house.
Yes, this one is actually a really nice house. It's a corner lot house. It's a 5 bedroom, and we listed it for 720, and we got above asking for this one. Um, it's very rare to find a full bathroom and a bedroom on the main level of the house. It's an older home. It also has solar, so it was actually uh, it's a really nice house for a big family. So,
Okay, well, that's wonderful. Okay, let's look at the next
yes.
one. What's this one?
Okay.
This is
So
Pittsburgh.
yes, this one is just a brief overview of Pittsburgh area. As you can see, like everywhere else, everything is being sold above market pricing. Um, you still can get affordable homes in this area, but they go quickly just because a lot of people are staying out of Alameda because it's just so competitive. I think I shared in our group um, that I think I wrote my sixth offer in Hayward, and listing agents are getting 32 offers and way above asking. Um, And the biggest concern that the listing agent right now, when I speak to them, is how is this gonna go with appraisal? So they're looking for um, offers that are willing to pay the difference, and I
Well,
think that's it.
no.
That's the key now.
Okay,
Um,
I think buyers have to start thinking outside of Hayward right now. Forget about Hayward for a little bit.
yes,
All
yes,
right.
and that's what we're steering them away. Another market update for Antioch area. As you know, Pittsburgh and Antioch, they have some pockets of good and bad areas because they have the old Pittsburgh and the old Antioch area, but the housing prices have gone up tremendously in this area as well.
Okay, all right.
Next slide, please.
I
Sorry.
think oh yeah, you got a couple more. Okay, let's look at the next one.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm
Brentwood. Oh,
just gonna
what's
go
going on
by.
with Brentwood?
So Brentwood area, it's kind of like Daly City and South San Francisco in the peninsula. They're very close by, um, and the school district in this area is very nice. A lot of people who can't afford Pittsburgh, Bay Point, Antioch area, they're moving into Brentwood, and they're moving into Discovery Bay because they don't have Brentwood. You already have the bidding wars, but on my next slide, the Discovery Bay, you
Yes.
still have a good chance in getting these homes, but you're going so inland with this home. So you're really, it's a quite a commute for um, buyers who actually works in San Francisco or in the peninsula. So it's quite a way, but they're willing to go that far because uh, it's still easy to buy and it doesn't have that much bidding wars.
All right. Thank you so much, Joanna, for this valuable information. We'll have you back at the conclusion. Stand by.
Okay.
So let me give the opportunity to Kathleen, who's looking down at her cell phone. Are you unmuted? First of all, you're gonna mute yourself first. Well, let's see
Yes,
who's here. Oh, Mello. Mello is here to cheer for his wife. Hello, Mello. Yeah, of course, a good husband will cheer for his. Oh, who else is here? I got Maria over here. All right. Maria, hey, thank you for showing up.
hi
Appreciate it.
Maria.
Okay. All right, Kathleen, why don't you go ahead and go through what you're going to tell us tonight? You want to start with your
Yes,
slide?
slides. Let's
All right,
go
slide. Okay,
Costa. All right.
slide. All right, let's go ahead and give us a Tri-Valley market update. Okay,
Yes.
go ahead.
Basically, I have the topic Tri-Valley, but I'm gonna compare Tri-Valley, Dublin, and then East Bay, Fremont. So for this first slide, it shows in Dublin, the average sale price in Dublin has increased 37% from the same time last year. It reached almost $1.49 million in Dublin. So it's a big increase.
Okay.
Yeah, and let's move on to the next slide.
Next slide.
Yeah, the average dollar per square footage sold in Dublin area is 646, and it also shows an increase of 24%. So these two numbers showing a very strong market in Dublin at this moment.
Oh, wow. It's pretty hot in Dublin, just as
Yeah.
in Hayward. The East Bay is pretty hot, including Fremont, all those areas.
Yes.
You know, I think you need to go to Contra Costa if you wanna buy a home that you
Not
can.
in Sacramento though. I know Sacramento, Danville are super competitive as well, just like in Dublin, because they are also in the Tri-Valley area. So maybe you
Okay.
need to go a little bit further. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So
Okay.
what else are you going to
The
share
previous
with
number
us?
is 112%. That's the sale price to list price ratio. That shows how competitive the market, the buyers are putting in offers. At the same time last year, it was 102%, and now it's increased to 112%. And that's actually based on a very positive market already. So the sellers put the listing price, I think, should be higher than before, because they are. I see all the listings they put on market based on the comparable sales, maybe the one just being sold in the neighborhood, and they use the sale price at the listing price. And not surprisingly, but every time the buyers will overbid that price. So this 112% is very a strong number.
It
So
is.
no.
Yeah, it's 12% above asking, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the next slide.
Yeah. Okay, next slide.
Shows the month supply in Dublin is 0.4 month. That means with all the inventories in market at this moment, with the speed of the sale currently, it will only take like less than half months for all the inventories to be sold. And the number last year at the same time was 1 month. So it shows the supply is still very low, while the demand is still speeding up.
Okay, share with us before we go into the next slide. The next slide is about Fremont. What are the sellers thinking right now in Dublin? Are they thinking perhaps they will wait to see more offers, or they'll get the first offer that they see that actually meet their expectation? What are they thinking right now?
I think half and half, because I have helped clients submit offers in the area as well. And half of the listings, they will tell me firm, no preemptive offers. They wanted to wait till the last minute. I mean, to provide a fair opportunity to everyone to submit at the same time, while the others are welcome the preemptive offers. And those ones pretty much goes into escrow within a very short amount of time. And I helped clients prepare the preemptive offer before, and it really requires a very strong buyer, not like the money wise, but they need to have a clear mind what they're looking for, so they are not breach their budget. So that's very important. If you have the flexibility on the budgeting or anything, I encourage you to make a preemptive offer. Otherwise, we need to be patient. We need to seize every opportunities that come to us.
Oh, just by the way, did you get a preemptive offer accepted very recently?
Not recently. All the listings my clients like do not accept preemptive offers.
Okay, got it. All right,
Yeah.
let's go move on to Fremont. Tell us about Fremont.
Okay. Fremont, I chose Fremont because the number is very similar to Dublin. As you might remember, it was 1.4, almost 49 for Dublin, and you may be surprised. This number is comparable to Fremont market. The average sale price in Fremont is 1.49, maybe almost 1.5. So there's about 5,000 difference between the Fremont and in Dublin. That's the average sale price. And let's move on to the next slide.
Okay, next slide. And 865.
Yeah, as you can remember, you might remember the number for Dublin is 600 something. That means with the same purchase price, you get a much larger home in Dublin. While if you choose to more commute-wise and certain things you took into consideration, you may choose Fremont, but the house you get might be a little bit smaller. So that's why the average dollar per square feet is a much higher than Dublin. And it also shows a 11% increase from the same time last year in Fremont.
Okay, excellent. 109%.
Okay, the sale price still, yeah.
So yeah, it's still high, 109 versus 112, you know.
Yes.
Okay.
So from my experience, all different markets, they tend to be hot during a certain period and then maybe cool down or just being stable. For a market this crazy, the Fremont is still very, very hot, but the Dublin is very hot, even hotter, because as a previous year or in the last few years, Tri-Valley area didn't see a big increase like in Fremont or Sunnyvale or Santa Clara area. So that's why maybe everybody, the investors, the homeowners are thinking of opportunities in Tri-Valley area. They are all going to the Tri-Valley to buy a big home. So that's why the market is hotter here.
Okay. 0.6.
Yeah, the month supply in Fremont is half months. That's a big drop from last year too, from 1.2 months of supply.
Okay.
So
what does this one show?
Before I head into this picture, I want to introduce the Dublin area. The Dublin area offers all different kinds of houses or townhomes. They have brand new townhomes. I know two builders are building like condos, townhome style condos in Boulevard. That's we have some videos showing that new home tours. If you're interested, we welcome to see to check out those videos. And also they have very high-end single family homes as well. I think the ones are around $2 million that being built by Toll Brothers. So, and in certain areas, they have nice schools, they have big communities, they have nice houses or townhomes being built in the last 5 to 10 years. And also in another area that's East Dublin, they have, West Dublin, they have older homes, but those older homes, they have larger lots, just like this one I'm going to show you. This is the one I'm going to put in market this week. So it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and the total square footage is a little bit over 1,000. But the lot size is almost 7,000 square feet. And you can see the sellers put in a lot of work, hard-earned work in this property, and it shows beautiful. This is the living room.
Yeah, it looks like a nice living room.
Yes. And the next slide is just showing some more details about this home. This is dining room and the very bright open area on the right.
So did this one hit the market already?
It will be hitting market in 1 or 2 days.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe if you contact Kathleen now, you might have a chance of getting it.
Yes. We just finished staging today.
Okay. Well, thanks for a nice presentation, Kathleen. So I'm going to give some time to Judie. So I hope she's still awake. Let me see, Judie is still awake. Okay, Judie, it's your turn now. So I have you back during the conclusion, okay? So let me go talk to Judie for now. Let's see here. Judie is here. Okay, she hasn't fallen asleep yet. You gotta unmute yourself first because we need to hear you.
Hi, can you hear me right now?
Yeah, I can hear you right now. Why don't you tell us, what's interesting in Sacramento?
Well, very hot market, very competitive. I just got 2 bad news today. 2 of my offers I sent out Sunday.
I always like to hear you talk about stories. Bad news, good news, I want to hear about it. I'm excited about what you're going to share with us about the recent experience that you had. Now, tell us the recent activities that you had in the Sacramento area. I know you work all over Sacramento, Folsom, South Sacramento, El Grove, and some remote parts of Sacramento County. So tell us the 2 not so successful stories. I think we can learn from that.
Okay, so I have a very crazy weekend. I showed over 20 properties over last weekend, and I made 4 offers on Sunday night. So 2 already we received the rejection letters from the listing agent. The other 2 is still hanging there. So finger crossed. We probably will hear back from the listing agent tomorrow morning. So hopefully one I will get into contract, but because my heart has been broken too many times.
Let me ask you this: for the past 1 month, on an average week, how many homes do you show in a week?
I never really count because during weekend, I usually very busy. Weekend every day I showed average 15 properties, so 2 days at least 30 over the weekend. So
oh my
over
God.
the weekday usually only 2 or 3 per day average. So
Yeah.
I will say 15 for 5 days. So every week I will see around 45 properties.
Now you seem to be traveling all over Sacramento. Tell us some of the cities you covered in the past 2 weeks.
I went to, as I told you before over the phone, I went to Fresno, and I'm not very familiar with Fresno's market, but surprised me, their market is very hot and very competitive too. Even for my consideration, it's a very remote area.
Yeah, Fresno is a long drive from Sacramento, so I'm kind of
Yeah,
interested to see what the inventory is like. How did you? I know you don't normally work in Fresno, but how do you know? How do you figure out what would be a good offer to make on a property in Fresno?
well, even I'm not a very local agent in Fresno area. I still do the same, do the comparable sales. I talk with the listing agent to check the expectation from the seller. And
Okay.
after I run the comp, I saw the days on market in Fresno area. for a good condition property is not much difference in Sacramento area. It's very short too. It's around 20 days.
Okay.
But of course, in some good area, good neighborhood, the time is much shorter. Probably it's 3 to 6 days right now.
I see.
But
Okay. All right.
yeah,
Now,
but
other than Fresno, I know you were all over the place, in the Sacramento area. Some of these cities' names I never heard of. Plumas Lake. What else? Yeah, where else you've gone to?
Plumas Lake is very close to Yuba City. Actually, it's not that remote. Actually, it's closer than Fresno.
Okay, now one thing I think you might be interested in sharing with some of the audience here is that I think it's not very frequent that you hear a builder who doesn't want to pay commission to a buyer's agent if a buyer comes with an agent. Is that what's going on in some parts of Sacramento?
Well, not particular in Sacramento area. It's just happened to me. I think last week. One of I showed that property a couple of weeks ago. Um, to one of my client. To Davis area. It's in Woodland.
Okay, well, I was a
So
little
that
surprised as well. Yeah.
yeah, and the builder sent an email to my client, told him there is a cancellation on the current buyer. Ask him whether he want to move forward, and my buyer let me know and forward me that email. When I asked the builder regarding the commission, very surprisingly, that builder doesn't work with real estate agents. Looks like the market is too hot, so they don't rely on real estate agent anymore.
Yeah, apparently so. Okay. All right. You want to show us some charts tonight?
Yes, I want to share some market update.
All right, let's go ahead and look at the first one. What does this one show?
First, I want to share some good news with all our audience. Look at the numbers of house on market for sale. It's going up 9.8%, which is almost 10%.
This is what?
April.
This is Sacramento County?
Yeah, Sacramento County, big Sacramento.
Okay, all right. So it looks like inventory is rising. So that's good news for all agents and many buyers as well. Okay.
Yes, and not only for April. Look at the numbers for March compared to February. It's all going up a little bit. So looks like this become a trend. The market inventory is going up. Looks like once our life go back to normal, the market inventory go back to normal too, which are very good news to our buyers. And I think that makes the whole market healthier. We don't want too much competition.
Oh, let me ask you this, Judy. What does going back to normal mean to you? More sales, more normalcy in
Well,
your life, or what does going back normal mean to you? You're gonna do more
well,
deals, or you're gonna do less
no,
deals, or
not
what's going?
not particular to more deals. For me, the one of the most exhausting thing is receive rejection letters. Um, we try, believe me, we try very hard, both me and our buyers. Um, there are always some crazy buyers overbid, and it's really drive everyone, push every buyer to their limit, financially and emotionally. So
Mm.
I work with a lot of investment buyers to do investment properties, and most of the time, investment buyers are more reasonable, and even during the bid war, we calculate the cap rate first, and we see the house condition, and we do all the math, calculate all the numbers before we move forward to send a number. And because right now we compete with buyers for primary to purchase their primary home, and these kind of buyers, um, they don't care whether it's a little bit overbid. They don't mind to pay extra 10-20,000 to win their dream house. So in that case, our most of the time our offer got rejected.
Well, it's worse if you represent investor buyers because investor buyers watch their pocket more than owner-occupied buyers.
Yes. So that kind of situation is not a good market for the investors because we lose all the time to buyers to purchase their home. So for
Okay.
me, back to normal is I think the seller like competition, but it's really hurts the market. And for the investor buyers, they don't want to see that much competition. And
Well,
if the
actually, I have a different thought on what you just said. The seller loves competition. Some sellers just want to get the price they want. They don't want to be dealing with so many different offers because out of so many different offers, how do you know which one is best? Best doesn't mean you get the best price, that's the best offer.
Yes, that's true. Most owner-occupied property for sale, I think some of the owners just want to sell the property in a reasonable price. They don't want
Exactly.
to see the property back to norm or back on market, and strangers coming in and out of their homes.
Well,
So
I like the first chart that I see so far. Let's look at the second chart. What
okay,
does this one show?
no surprise, the market keep going up. The average sold price going up 10% compared to last month. And we look at the March numbers compared to February, it's going up 3.9%. So
3.9% is not as bad as the Bay Area, though. I mean, the Bay Area is actually worse than the numbers that we're seeing in Sacramento.
yes, I know Bay Area is way more competitive than in Sacramento area.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and look at the next chart. What does this one show?
So it's very similar to the number we see on last chart. The average square footage sold is going up 4.6, almost 5% compared to March. So even the inventory go up, the price doesn't go down, not even a little bit. So the price still going up, shows our market is still very strong.
Yeah, very strong still, I would say. All right, let's go ahead and look at the next one.
Days on market going down, um, and March compared to February, it's also going down. So the average days on market right now is only 20 days. But for what I see, properties in Elk Grove, if you price property very reasonable, it's only will stay on market for less than a week, 3 to 6 days.
Okay. All right. Let's look at the next one. So you're at the last chart already. All right, now quickly tell us. I have a question for you. Is the market in Sacramento still good for investors?
I think still some change, some opportunity for investors, especially multi-unit, because very unlikely the owner-occupied buyer to purchase the multi-unit, but opportunity always come with risk. Um, when you purchase a multi-unit property, usually you need to take over the previous tenants because most of the, for example, duplex, triplex on market is not vacant, it's tenants occupied. So right now we still can't evict any tenants due to COVID-19. So when you take over the previous tenants, you really need to be careful and do your homework. For example, check the payment history and uh, ask for their previous credit report, their proof of fund to verify their employment. So all kinds of stuff we need to be very careful when you take over the previous tenants because you don't know who you are dealing with.
All right, thank you so much, Judy. Now let's go back to our original screen. Now is the time to say a few words based on the question I'm going to ask each of you. All right. Okay. Let's not look at our cell phone right now. Let's look at the screen and the audience. All right. First of all, I thank all the audience for participating in tonight's April 2021 real estate market update brought by the lBiz Academy. Now, if you have not subscribed to my channel or our channel, please do so, as we will have more market updates that you're going to find very helpful to you if you are a home purchaser or home seller in the Bay Area and Sacramento, and also in other parts of California. If you find tonight's program valuable, it's brought some value to you, please give us a thumbs up and share this content with your friends and relatives. Now, for tonight's question for the experts. Do comps still matter? Yes or no, and why or why not? Okay, each expert will give me an opinion on that. All right. Okay, of course, Kevin, anytime. All right, Judie, this Lily is going to go first. You need to unmute yourself.
Hi, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, on the comps, if the comparables do matter right now, I think comparables mean very little right now on this market. So what happens right now, on average, people overbid for single families, right, in Santa Clara, Alameda County, and average prices. I mean, like, I put offers at 200 above. I put offers at 100 above. It doesn't matter what price you're gonna put. There is always, or maybe not always, somebody gonna be higher than you, right? And compare, you know, like I usually really good with my numbers. I know at what value property can be valued at by appraiser. And right now, what I say to my buyers, I say like, hey, I know this property is pending at this price, this property is pending at this price. So it might not appraise to full amount which you're submitting at, and we have a difference. Are you okay with that? And they say, yes, we're okay to take this risk, and we're going to submit with this risk. And so this is just how the market is, and we need to understand, like, sometimes 50K difference, it means nothing, like, at this market. Like, I mean, like,
Okay.
the question is, do you want to run around for longer and get outbid for many more months, and then the prices keep growing more and more, right?
All right. Okay, listen to Lily. All right, next we have Jhoanna Cruz, who's going to give us expert opinions on whether comps still matter in this market. Do you still look at comps? Yes or no? And why or why not?
I still do look at comps just to have like a starting point to show to my clients that, you know, this is, I use the sold price as my comp instead of the listed price or pending price, because in reality, all homes are way above asking. So at least you have a reality check in terms of what would be a good offer. You know, we're still going to have those first time home buyers that are still hoping that they'll still going to have a good deal. But unfortunately, in this market, we don't see that.
All right, now Kevin has a question. He said, for this
Yeah,
moment, will escalator clause help? Now, as
I,
you know,
I can
Kevin,
help with
not
that question.
okay. I think Kathleen is going to answer that. So why don't you answer that, Kathleen?
Yeah, actually, I submit an offer with escalator clause. I think we closed a couple of weeks ago, and I kept communicating with the listing agent from the day it put on market. It's actually because it put on market on a Friday, so it took a little bit over one week until we got our offer accepted. Actually, they do not accept a preemptive offer neither. So I kept communicating with him, and I called him after we submit the offer and made minor changes. And then I also put a escalator clause just to be safe. And he was like, I had an offer in hand higher than you. I like the love letter. I like how you show your efforts for your clients. So he said, never mind, I won't use that escalator clause, even though you put it in there, even though I may got another $5,000 on top of that. It's just helps to show your clients that they are very serious. They like the home so much. And sometimes you, even though you put it there, you can still save that money and get the offer.
All right, thank you, Kathleen, for the answer. For the audience, if you don't know what an escalator clause is, let me explain it to you. Basically, you say to the listing agent or seller, my buyer will bid anybody's price by a certain amount, as long as it does not exceed our cap or our maximum. And if it's whatever the highest offer is, we just want to bid that offer by a certain amount, subject to a cap. Okay, that's what an escalator clause is. Now, Joanna, I'm sorry you got interrupted. Were you done, or you gonna finish what you're saying?
Oh no, I'm done. Thanks
All
for
right,
asking.
now, Kathleen, it's your turn to explain to us or say to us whether you think comps still matter. Yes or no, and why or why not? Yes.
All the listing agents are telling me, do not look at the comps. So yeah, we still want to have something to land on, but the comps didn't show anything. All has been surprised us from the townhomes, the condos, to the single families all around the Tri-Valley area. So comps didn't show any number that can help us determine our, the offer price.
So comps are not very helpful in your area, is that right?
Yes, no. Even the listing are saying they're crazy. It's way above the comps.
All right, Tri Valley, you all heard that. Okay, Judy, why don't you tell us if comps matter or don't matter in Sacramento?
Well, I do still pull comps, but only as the bottom line. So right now is the bottom line doesn't matter. The matter is how high you want to go and how high it can go. So the buyer really need to be ready emotionally and financially. They need to get some board to make a brave offer, and they need to accept the reality is the appraisal value might not come up with their purchase price. They need to be prepared financially to make the difference between the appraisal value and the final purchase price. So the question to the buyer is, do you want to overbid, for example, 5 to 10%, or you want to wait next month for the market price come up and you need to overbid again? So right now it's very tough questions for the buyer to decide.
Well, if I'm a buyer, I want to buy in Sacramento. I tell you, Judy, I want to wait for the price to drop. What are you going to say to me?
Well, that's your decision. If you want to wait, my suggestion is keep waiting. Don't change your mind 6 months later.
All right. That could mean a long time before the price will come down.
Can,
Yeah, go ahead, Lily.
Yeah, I just want to add my thinking on the market right now, right? So basically, we have a big shortage, right? So I talked to one person who works in finances. She says like a lot of companies right now since January they've been bought by other companies in Bay Area. So all these people whose companies are purchased, they have extra cash, which is not, it's not money which you earn. It's just money which just appeared in your pocket, right? So for
Yeah.
them to overbid 100K, 200K, it's like nothing. It's not number one, right? And then shortage, low interest. And what else? The biggest problem as well, I think, for the builders, is like wood prices at the Home Depot. If you go to Home Depot, right, the all materials, wood materials, they're so expensive comparing to pre-COVID times, right? Even the construction costs are gonna rise, right? I think for builders, I don't know where they get their wood materials. It's gonna cost a lot to build, right? It's not gonna be profitable at this time specifically, right? And people who wanna buy, so they don't have anything to buy, and of course, like all this, I mean, like, and plus forbearance, right? It got extended, right? Or they thinking to extend it. So some of my followers, they ask me like, oh, soon all these loans or people who own forbearance programs, the homes will start to come on the market and it's going to be a crash. And they're not coming on the market because it's just extended for longer, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
and it creates.
So I think the big question is, will there be a soft landing or a hard landing? That is a question. Well, while we're at it, what do you think? You think we're gonna have a soft landing or hard landing?
I don't get what does mean soft landing. It's like,
Soft landing means no crash. Hard landing means crash.
I don't think we're gonna have a crash. We're probably gonna have like long time. Like right now we're gonna go only up, but then like the prices should hit the wall someday, right? These people who have extra cash, they should stop sometime, right? So, and then we're gonna normalize a little bit, but it doesn't mean the price is gonna go down. It's just people not gonna overbid that much. That's what's
All
gonna
right,
happen. This is my
great.
speculation.
So soft landing. All right, Judy, soft landing or hard landing?
I believe it's, I try to believe it's soft landing,
You
but
try to
it's,
believe. How about give
yeah,
us an expert opinion or forecast? Is it soft or hard landing?
soft landing. Right now, all we know is the market price, the property price is directly related to interest rate. And the Fed
Okay.
already announced they won't increase the interest rate before 2023 or 2024.
All right.
So, which means our market is going to be pretty stable during this period of time. So,
I
my,
think I too think it's going to be soft landing. We're not going to see anything like 2008.
No.
Anybody that has lived through 2008, and I have, I know exactly what it was like. In 2008, when the market crashed, I had an office in the city of Oakland. I believe one day I was getting like 30 plus phone calls from distressed homeowners asking me to rescue them from foreclosures back then. Okay, we're not gonna have that this time around. Okay, I think we're gonna be fine. All right, so it's been a wonderful evening hearing from all of you. And of course, for those of you that stayed with us till the very end, we truly appreciate you being an amazing audience. And in 2 weeks' time, we're going to hear from our Southern California experts. There'll be 3 to 4 agents sharing their valuable information with us. All right. Hopefully, everybody will have a wonderful weekend this coming weekend. I had my second shot of the vaccination, so I feel more bold and braver to go and experience the the nature. All right, great, Brandon. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for sticking around. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone, and have a nice weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Bye.
Have a good evening too.